Hello everybody. Angie here, coming on with the weekly make for the hashtag ABCs plus 3 challenge, hosted here on YouTube by myself and Anna G over at Making Joyful Journals. We are going through the alphabet, progressing with letters each week, and we're using 3 prompts using each particular letter and making a tag with it. We are on letter Q, so we are going to get right into this. I'm going to show you what has been made, and yeah, this shouldn't be a long video for you guys. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is well. I am good. And here's what I've got for you today. Let me put them aside and I'm gonna bring in one at a time. Now I will say Q got me. I had a little struggle with my choices this week, so I hope you guys aren't too disappointed. This is my first make. Now, normally what I do is I make one off camera and just kind of walk you through my process, and then I make one with you guys. Well, I did make one, but I messed up the video, so I had to start over and make this video for you guys. So my makes are already done. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through my thought process and what I did, and that'll be it. My first tag is 3 by 5.5, and I just used some collage digital paper on the background, just a kind of a neutral tone digital that I had laying around, nothing too particular. I didn't really focus on that too much. I just wanted it for some background, just something kind of vintagey. And then I just used some stickers out of my antiquarian sticker book. I used the actual letter Q, so that's 1, question mark 2, and quail 3. And it's as simple as that, guys. Like I said, I struggled as to my options on the letter Q, so I just layered those down. I did bring up the quail with a little bit of foam tape just to give him a little bit of dimension, because I put him on top of some crochet trim. And then I just put a little word element there, and it just says proceeding quite smoothly. You know, he looks like he's traveling there. And then just put a little piece of crochet trim up at the top. And that's it. And I just inked around it with some vintage photo, and it's as simple as that. It's simple, nothing too elaborate, but I do like it. Overall, I think just the layout overall is okay. But I'm disappointed in myself that I couldn't think outside the box a little bit more and get more creative with this particular card, I guess. But I do like it, so I hope you guys do also. So that's my first one. And then the one I was going to make with you guys. Okay, here's this one. It is a bigger one. It's 4 by 7. Look at that beauty. Let me see if I can bring it up. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, this is a little bit of a bigger tag, and the reason for that is because the background is my first Q, and it's quilt. Faux quilt, but quilt, and I'll show you how I did that. Then my second Q is quill pen, third is queen, and fourth is the actual word queen. So I actually have 4 Qs on this one, and I couldn't finish the piece because we have such a beautiful queen there. They're so elegant and royal and regal and fancy. Couldn't complete that without putting some bling on there, so I brought in some flat back pearls and some diamond rhinestones. And these were stickers out of my antiquarian sticker book as well. I just backed them on paper and glued them down. This Q was actually red, but I didn't like the way that it stood out on the background here. So I just colored it in with a black Sharpie, and I think that pops a little bit better against the colors in the background. And then when I did that, I thought, well, let's go a little bit step further. So I inked a little bit around with the black pen around the word queen, And then I brought in some ink around the edges, outer edges of the tag itself. I originally had did vintage photo, but it just didn't pop enough for me, especially once I put that black there, and then plus there's black ink there. So I just thought it kind of all just tied together. But I really, really, really love this. I like how it finished off and how it came together, and I just love the pastels in the background. So let's talk about that for a quick second. I had so much fun doing this. I have done patchwork type pieces before, but I don't know, it was kind of similar but new at in the same way. And all I did was I used napkin in the background. I took a couple complementary colors that kind of blended well together. As you can see, there's blues and yellows and greens there, and kind of pastels, blues, greens, reds, and some purples there. I took the napkin, and usually they're 2 or 3 ply. I kept the napkin together. Okay, I think actually I have a piece left. Oh, well, I guess that's not important. Well, I kept the napkin together rather than separating the plies because I wanted that little bit of that cushy, soft feel look like a quilt gives you. And if you can see, I don't know how well the camera is picking that up, but I achieved that look, and I am really, really pleased with it. So what I did was I took a couple napkins and I cut out 2-inch squares out of those 2 napkins, and I sewed them together. I backed it on just a piece of white copy paper, and I did a zigzag stitch, if you could see the stitching, and I just stitched it like you would a quilt. And I just did a real quick stitch all the way around, and here's the leftover bits that I had. That's what I did. Okay. And I just stitched all the 2-inch squares together, and then I cut a piece to make my tag. So I wanted to use at least 2 pieces, 2 columns, so that's why I have the wider tag. That's why it ended up being 4 inches, because 2 inches and 2 inches, because I was afraid if I cut it down, then I'd lose some of the stitching on either side, and it just wouldn't balance out, as well as it would, you know, come apart in between if I cut it in between the squares. So that's all I did. But this, guys, if you haven't tried this, this is what I'm calling my faux quilt design. So much fun. Just you could take more than 2 pieces of you can use more than 2 designs of napkin if you wanted to. You could use 3 or 4 or what have you, but I just chose 2 on this one, and I did 2-inch squares. I will definitely be doing this process again and using it more often, because I really enjoyed this. I love the finished look. Like I said, I think I achieved that kind of that quilt-like look. And I don't know if you can really see that texture in the camera, but for myself, I achieved it, and I really like it. I think if I would have separated the plies, I wouldn't have got that, or I could have used like a batting or something underneath in between the paper and the napkin, and I could have achieved that as well. But I didn't want to go that far for a tag, you know. I just wanted to keep it really simple, so I just kept the plies together, and it worked really, really well. Now, if I were to do this again also, I think one thing I would do differently is I think I'd cut my squares a little bit smaller, because like I said, 2-inch and 2-inch, that's going to give myself a 4-inch width minimum that I would want to use. Unless you're making a journal card, then that's okay. But for different size tags, I would probably do like 1.5-inch squares, because then there's more sewing throughout the piece. And I think it'd be a little bit more safer no matter where you cut it or the size of your tag. I think you'd be safe. But yeah, this was so fun, guys. This is my faux quilt. My faux quilt. So fun. So hope you like that. And I ended up with this beauty. Okay, so once again, quill pen, queen, quilt, and the word queen. And then on this one, quail, question mark, and the letter Q. So each one's a little bit different. I did use all the stickers out of my Antiquarian sticker book, but I think we got two completely different looks as well as sizes. And this one I just inked around, and I will probably grab a stamp or something and put some lines on that for journaling, and probably as well as this one too, depending on where I'm going to put it in a journal. But yeah, that's what I've got for you this week. I hope you guys like the make. Oh, and I did bring in, like I said, the pearls and the diamonds. Royalty, you got to have pearls and diamonds, right? Okay. So guys, that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you guys like the makes. I would love it if you would hop over to Anna G's channel and check out her inspirational makes for the week using letter Q. And as always, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment and a like, and I will see you guys soon, okay? But until then, take care and God bless. Bye-bye.